Yes, Burgess, we get it. You got them big muscles, bro, but Toei Animation, you don't need to keep on putting it in our faces like for 8 billion years. This episode. Let's go. So this week's episode of One Piece, pretty freaking slow. It was a setup for the final fight in the tournament or whatever, but for the most part, it was mainly a very slow setup episode. Everyone coming out to the ring. I mean, we don't really need to see the fish, a full demonstration of the ferocity of the fish. I think a very small and brief explanation, seeing like, how fucking beast they look would have been fine, but ultimately we got that. We got the sore losers coming out, and for the most part, their point was just to show how strong those fish really were. So they came out as like, hey Rebecca, we want to go. Like, are most of these people gay or something? Like, why is everyone like, even if you fucking don't like Rebecca, ultimately if you're a man, wouldn't you be like, ooh, look at that hot chick coming out? So the fact that everybody's just booing her and acting like idiots is like, really stop. And then the fight started, but for the most part, it was Sabo dodging and Burgess kind of trying to ram his fucking elbow into Sabo. And that was pretty much what we got with this week's fight as well, because it's like, okay, cool. It started. Good stuff there as far as like, glad that it's not taking, I thought it was going to be until the end of the episode where the first fucking punch was thrown, but I would have liked at least a little bit more of something, because it was just like, the entirety of the fight for the most part this episode. And obviously the fight is nowhere near over, but with Sabo looking for the fruit and Burgess ramming his elbow into the ring, I was like, okay. And I guess that was somewhat progression, and the biggest piece of progression we got is Luffy is now invading the palace, and he pissed off Dawn even more. You can definitely see, we've never seen Doflamingo this pissed off up until this episode. It's like, he is super fucking angry over everything that's been going down. So we got a little piece of progression, but for the most part, this episode was so slow, and to be honest with you, it was one of those episodes where I was like, oh my gosh, why am I watching this? So definitely going to give this one like a 4 out of 10. It had a little bit of things going for it, again, set up and moving into the first fight of the finals of the tournament or whatever, or not first fight, but Burgess and Sabo going in, and it's like, I'm supposed to be hyped, and I've, to a certain degree, I am, like, at least seeing Sabo animated, in the Lucy costume, getting ready to go in, so I'm like, yeah, it's cool, but it just doesn't have the same impact that it had in the manga. Even these small little battles or whatever in the manga, I was like, Sabo, go in, fuck Burgess up. Burgess, show why you a beast. And in the anime, it's just like, it just feels so dragged out and slow. So yeah, 4 out of 10 for this week's episode. It started something, but in all honesty, just way too slow, and the art and animation was just like, for the most part, the art was alright, typical One Piece, but the animation, a good chunk of the episode was still frames. It's like, we got a 6-minute recap, only to start off with panning of the crowd, like, still shots. I'm like, are you kidding me? But I guess that's become par for the course with One Piece. We'll have like one really awesome episode where a shitload of things happen, the animation's good, everything is fucking, just going very well, and then we get an episode like this where it's like, taking things that were pretty awesome in the manga and slowing them down and dragging them out to the point where it's like, oh my god, I don't care about the fighting fish. Why are they continuously showing us Jesus Burgess going, ooh, ooh, ooh? Like, honestly, it's pretty fucking like, wow, it's hilarious. And it's not even hilarious that he's doing that, because yeah, it's a funny thing, but just the amount of times we're seeing him screaming out like if he's fucking in pain taking a shit while he's flexing is like, really? Let me know what you thought of this episode. Are you hype? I mean, I still have somewhat excitement, because at the end of the day, the source material is really good. Sabo, Burgess, Luffy invading, going in, Dawn getting pissed off. We have all that. But it's just like, the execution of the episode just really ain't doing it. And what do you think about Burgess flexing? Did it really get, you going? Hey, overall thoughts, but that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you can do so as well without the flexing, I'd greatly appreciate it. Out for that world. And as always, people, have an awesome day.